Aloha, welcome back to Aina Bear Farm. We're going to do our winter tour video today, so take you guys on a little bit of a walkabout with me. This is one of the rare times of year where most of the food forest is all nice and mowed, so it's a good time to shoot a tour video. So right now we are out in the very center of the food forest. We're looking back towards Zone 2. You can really start to get a sense of how well it has filled in over the years if you've been following the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Happy to have you checking out our project here. So this is about a little over 4 acres farm that was all pasture full of guinea grass on the wet side of the big island of Hawaii. And got quite a few cool things going on. As I pan back this way, this is Zone 3. So Zone 3, a little bit less established, less densely planted out than Zone 2. Of course, farther away from the house, so trying to manage it in a way that just doesn't need as much maintenance. And then where you can see the grass line out there, we're going to be expanding Zone 3 pretty soon. There's Polo, our farm dog, very happily running around. And I'll talk more about that expansion, but you can see our Tithonia wall is coming in here. Now the grass is all cut, you can see that starting to leaf out. Each plant just getting started. The idea is to build some walls that will help block the wind. Here's a kukui. This is a it's a canoe plant. The Hawaiians brought it here. So technically not native, but been here since the Hawaiians arrived, and very useful tree. And you can see some of our older, more established Tithonia, Mexican sunflower here, that's been cut back, and so now it's leafing out these little bushels. And those were planted right on the windy side of where we had fruit trees planted, which has helped, but I just think it's too close to the plants. And so when I get these walls going, the idea is to just take these down consistently for mulch and not really have to worry about them as wind protection. Really excited about these ice cream beans out here. They are getting some real size to them and producing some shade, and when they drop their leaves, you can maybe kind of tell underneath there, like starting to get some leaf litter, change over the grass biome to a little bit more of a forest. I've got little things like this is a rambutan planted from seed, just kind of hanging in there. Really gets beat up by the wind, so again, that's what we're hoping to help with. This is marang in that jackfruit kind of family. It's pretty happy. Got, I think that's a little manila palm there. And so out here, heading towards Zone 4 and 5, what I want to do is clear another section that'll basically be an extension of Zone 3. And it'll keep going. So essentially, it'll be this size, doubled over here. And we'll have a lot more areas for fruit trees and support trees. So I'm going to make a separate video on that, clearing the grass, starting to put some ice cream beans in out there, and just kind of showing you guys that process of how I create that from scratch. I mean, it's going to be cool because, this is what this looked like when I first started. And so we're going to see this transform and, look more like this. This is a soursop that's, again, been beat up by the wind, beat up by drought. Oh, here's the dog just charging through the grass. He's probably hunting mongoose. Another nice ice cream bean. This is a casteri mango. This is a mango variety, or actually species, I guess, that does much better with the wet conditions that we have at times over here. You can see all the little clumps of Tithonia, guarding a little cherimoya. This This is a new Gliricidia that's just getting established. I've got little sapodios from seed. That's this little guy here. Doing okay, just really slow growing. These are Acacia confusa. They're not native, but they're a nice nitrogen fixing tree. Fast grower. I mean, I planted that from seed and we've been here. Well, that seed went in the ground maybe at most 4 years ago. And it's huge. I mean, this thing is 20 feet tall. Nice spread to it as well. Our little white sapote up here, this is, it's a grafted, I think Densler is the variety. Just got ransacked by scale. And it is coming back finally. And you can still kind of see the sooty mold on the branches, the trunk. It was going all the way down, so it's a good sign that the trunk has grown and sort of shed off a lot of that sooty mold that was on there, because it looked really terrible for a while. And it seems to be coming back. Hopefully it's going to make it through that, because I love white sapote and would love to get some fruit in the near future. Here's our Raposa mango. It's one of our first fruit trees we ever planted. No flowers yet, but a huge tree. This one I'm actually letting it go because I want some shade up here. And so I'm going to encourage it to spread really big and wide and still hopefully get some decent amount of fruit off of it. So now we're heading back into zone 2. And this is interesting. You can, I guess, place this in the category of failure, question mark? Maybe some of you can help me with this. So this is langsat, or lanzones, and it's got like 1.5 maybe leaves, and it's been sitting like this for a year. It's got these little green buds on it that have not done anything for a year. I've never seen a tree sit dormant like that for so long and not die. So it's still alive. I don't know what it's waiting for, but we'll keep it around. It's the only one I have, in the hopes that it will bounce back. This is a mango grown, a macnut grown from seed, so it's like a wild macnut. The quality of those can be highly variable, and so we really have no idea what we're going to be dealing with here. But I figure nothing else, it's a nice big tree, maybe a pollinator for some of our grafted varieties. And here we're just kind of watching the perennial peanut fill in. So it's just really cool because this all used to be guinea grass, and we're slowly just reestablishing our ground cover with this nitrogen fixing, very manageable plant that spreads on its own. And got a nice caliandra and a cassava that are sort of intermingled there. It's a pretty cool pairing, actually. Get a little closer. The purple leaves of the cassava, and then the powder puff flowers of the caliandra. I like it. This is a rare Annona that we got from Joe Hewitt that has really been doing well. It's Invira Caju from Brazil. And no signs of flowers yet. Looks like it may have a little while to go, but health-wise is doing great. We put in a new kukui here. We actually got a seedling here from elemental plants nearby here, and it just took off. So, I mean, it is in the right place for sure. Just really happy to have that here. These Namwa bananas just going off all the time. A couple racks on there. This is a chaicharu, in the same family as the mangosteen. And it's funny, I left this clump of guinea grass here to provide some shade for it, while this Gliricidia kind of fills in and takes over as the shade manager. And I thought it would suffer from being so close to the grass, but it's doing really well. It's actually outgrown a lot of my other chaicharus and mangosteens. But this is a 344 variety, Macna grafted variety, that was really suffering a while back. Had some insects bore into the trunk, and it really looked like it was on its way out. I did a lot of pruning, Just trying to like nurse it back to health. And here we are. I mean, it looks fantastic. So just kind of goes to show you, like, don't give up on plants too early. They can be pretty resilient if they're, well fed and taken care of and they're in the right place. This is Hoava. This is a native plant. It's a beautiful plant that has really nice flowers. So it's sub-canopy tree, and so it doesn't get huge, but we have quite a few of them, and they all are slightly different. This one's got smaller leaves that grow in more clumps. I've got ones with bigger, more kind of like lobe-shaped leaves. And our mangosteen here with some nice new growth at the top. Excited about that. We're probably up to about 4.5 feet tall now, and these are notoriously slow growers, take years to produce. We're under a Glycidia here for protection, but basically couldn't be happier with how things are going with this. Just have to be patient. As we make our way around, we've actually done a lot of work in this area. It's kind of cool. This was black cane sugar that toppled in a wind, some high winds that we had. So we're gonna have to come in and deal with this. I mean, it's fine. It's hard to kill this stuff. It's like bamboo basically, but we just need to reset it and get it back upright. Figure out what we're gonna do there. This is an ice cream banana, which is the first keiki or pup that we've been able to find in 4.5 years. I've been looking for this. So I don't know why it was so hard to find. Everybody has said, yeah, I got him, but give me a couple months, and it was just kind of always that story, and could never get a hold of one. So we finally got one. Pretty stoked. I'm partly just to have the variety, and the beautiful color of the blue Java bananas. This is a Keat mango, and yeah, doing fine. Nothing too remarkable, but seems plenty happy. Another cassava here, plenty of the perennial peanut, and you can see how we're expanding that. So this is all dug out. This was tarped actually, and there's little perennial peanut plugs in here, and we just have to for a little while come in and weed this kind of regularly to let the perennial peanut take over and do its job. Here we can see the moringa on the other side there, getting back close to the house. We're actually working on a compost toilet back here, so we'll finally be able to compost that type of waste. That's kind of cool. This is all of our wood that we process for biochar. This is a really nice peach palm. I've got a few of these, and this one is just by far doing the best out of all of them. This Glycidia I put in as a stick in the ground 2 months ago. Look at this thing. When they are in a place they like, they just take off. So that is cool. Some longon from seed. Rambutan from seed. And we just got all kinds of things. A little papaya hiding in here. This down here is a lemon drop mangosteen, so very small. Many years before we get fruit. But hey, we can be patient. This is naupaka. It's a really nice mountain naupaka. It's a nice native plant. Pretty happy here. The turmeric or Elena is on its way out for the winter. So probably not going to dig up much out of this patch, but we'll see it again next year. Got some happy coffee varieties in here. These are mostly Coutura. So there's 1, 2, 3 in this little patch here. And we're tucked in under the overshade of a monkey pod tree. We've got laupele or bele Tongan spinach here. Nice edible, super easy to grow too as long as it gets enough water. And then this is actually quite remarkable. Ice cream bean tree grown from seed. This thing has been in the ground for about 3.5 years. It is enormous. And I love the broad leaves on this one. I've planted quite a few more of those. Jaboticaba, we've got quite a few of these planted around. A few different varieties, Rosa, Sabra. We have a yellow jaboticaba. One of them has fruited, not this one, but looking forward to getting more fruit off of those. This is a nice little section, quite a bit of diversity here. You've got the coleus, you can see stands out pretty well. Perennial peanut, white pineapples, lucana. This is a Satsuma tangerine. These are cranberry hibiscus. They're on their way out now, but they're pretty when they flower. Then they've got two of these feijoa trees, pineapple guava. 1, 2. Fairly new, but doing good. Cassava. More coleus. Down the hill here's tons of pigeon pea. We got pigeon pea everywhere, but this is a nice longon. This is BOQ grafted variety. I've been pruning it. Got a beautiful shape to it. And then underneath we've got some tea leaf, some sword ferns, some avapuhi, shampoo ginger down there. So, just nice little guilds. Little comfrey back here. You can see the nice shape on this thing. It's about max height where I'm going to let it go. So the fruit's pretty accessible. And once it starts to fruit, it'll kind of droop a little bit. We'll just have to kind of keep the path a little bit clear. But this is a Pananga palm. Pretty new. Oh, this is another one of those hoavas I was talking about earlier. Native plant. You can see totally different looking than the other one. And we're on the back side of that huge ice cream bean. At some point, I have to manage it a little bit more. I've pruned it some, taken some select branches out. But this is a black sapote that, it looks worse than I feel like it actually is. It's actually got a couple fruit on it. And it's really coming back strong right now. It's been blasted by wind. This section down here is a little too open, and I've had many failed plants or at least like things that haven't been as successful as I wanted them to be, which this is a perfect example of that. This is a coral tree. I've done videos on this, and this is my best one. It's been in the ground for a couple of years. I was expecting it to be, 15 feet tall by now. Nitrogen fixer, but I don't know, just not thrilled about its location, I guess. This is Ma'o Hauhele. It's a native hibiscus. It's the state flower yellow hibiscus one. And it's doing well, but it gets chewed on quite a bit. And this is kind of the reality of turning a pasture into a food forest. That once you create some diversity in the early years, the insects are like, oh, thank God, something different to eat. And they just storm it. And it can be a little rough on the plants. So, you just want to give them plenty of stuff to eat. So, right here we've got monkey pot, bananas, tithonias, avocados, acacia, more bananas. Tea leaf. We got this African blue basil. Just try to pump in the diversity. And, if I had time, I'd have even more diversity than this. So, just really help it out. But I think it'll establish itself. It'll do okay. This is a star apple, the purple kaimito. And it usually looks pretty rough this time of year. It's just not as happy in the winter, but bounces back the rest of the year. Some more Gliricidia. This is Lolu. It's the only palm native to Hawaii. and they grow real slow, but you can see down there, I mean, we're getting a nice base, and they are just gorgeous trees. I'm so stoked. I've got planted a few more of these. Can't wait to see them kind of popping up above the canopies. Here's my poor Rolinias, my big ones. Just get blasted by wind. Decent size, they're hanging on. No fruit yet. Still waiting. Heading back towards the center of the food forest. And we just put this in. This is a grafted sapodillo. This Alano is the variety. So I'm glad to have, one that's further along. Might start growing a little faster and get fruit sometime this decade. A lot of our ohia, which is also native trees, are doing really well. They're pretty, as long as you're okay, like elevation-wise, they're pretty hardy trees. And they're really beautiful, flowers, and just need a decent amount of water. And let's see, get you a nice view of the ocean here in the opening. And that's back towards zone 3. We've got just lots of other things planted out there: mac nuts, soursop, lime, marang, a couple mangoes. Got a cool heirloom Hawaiian variety of ulu or breadfruit, and then plenty of support trees. But I'm going to head back through zone 2, just kind of finish showing that to you so that we don't make this an epically long video. Try to head back this way. Sorry if I'm bouncing around. More white sapote. This is from seed, so not grafted. It is super hardy. So I don't know how the fruit's going to be, but the plant is happy. Ooh, we got a little nice monarch butterfly here. Hey, buddy. Oh, sorry. I wasn't fast enough. All right. Oh, wait. There he goes. Mapulehu variety of mangoes, fruited for the first time last year. Hoping to get a decent crop this next time around. Really tasty mangoes. We've got some nice shade from Gliricidia. And all around we've got stuff hiding. There's a little coffee down here. On the other side of the Gliricidia, we've got a mangosteen. This little guy down there, putting on new growth. Got piles. This is mostly Tithonia and pigeon pea, waiting to be chipped in our wood chipper. And we'll spread that around the base of our trees. This is my really nice 344 mac nut variety. Made fruit for the first time last year. They were excellent quality, so we're looking forward to future harvests. We work our way around. We're down in the more kind of crop area with a lot of white pineapples. So this is all white pineapple. It's going to be next year's crop, the bulk of it. This is the older crop of white pineapple. This is a Nam Dak Mai, the Thai mango. I'm trying to graft off of that, but I've not been successful so far. And look at this carry. Really showing off right now. Tons of new growth. We're going to have to prune it back. And it fruited for the first time last year too, so hopefully we'll get a decent fruit on that. Oh, there's the dog. This is cool. Our mame sapote is leafing out again. And at the base, got some little fruits hanging on there. I imagine a couple of these will hang on, at least for a while. If you don't know, the mame sapote is a notoriously long fruiting time. It's like 2 years for ripe fruit from the time it flowers. So it could be a while, but we'll see. And down this section. Things just grow crazy down here where the water kind of saturates the ground. Here's a nice sandalwood. Looking really happy. So, just adding variety. Here we've got an acacia confusa and an ice cream being planted side by side. We're just sort of seeing what happens there. So far so good. This is a variety of lychee called Groff. Is the variety name, grafted. So putting on a lot of new growth there. And as we head down, we just cut a lot of this. It's a bit of a mess. So all this is all mulch for us. Here's a soursop. This has got a few little fruits on it. I'm going to zoom in so I don't have to go over there. And here and there, kind of coming back from the drought. So yeah, this is all just waiting to be moved. And then this tall, skinny guy is a beach sugar apple. So another annona. No flowers yet, but looking pretty happy. This is a Sespania sespen. Tall little nitrogen fixer. Malabar chestnut. Looking nice, tucked back in here. And in the understory down here, we've got a mangosteen here. Then we've got this cacao. This is the best cacao we have. We planted 10 of them or so. That one's by far outdoing the rest. And one of our loquats making winter fruit now. It's always exciting. And then this area is tarped for growing kalo or taro. We just got a bunch of new varieties, and we're basically killing all the guinea grass clumps down in there, and that will be part of the food for the kalo. And kind of coming to the last little areas in zone 2. This is our ulu or breadfruit tree that's been producing. So got a few pieces of fruit on it. Just waiting for them to ripen. Pretty impressive for a tree that's, not all that big. It's got 5 fruits on it, I guess. We've already eaten a couple. And then you can see we're doing a couple air layers on there. And yeah, not too much else happening down this area. Just a few other seedlings in there. I'm not going to go down to the agroforestry area because I will kind of make a separate video that focuses on that. So I think, we've gone long enough. I'm giving you a tour of the food forest area. And here, maybe we'll finish up here at the top and just kind of talk through those last few things up here. Hopefully everybody's had a good year and gearing up for another one. We really appreciate you watching our videos and leaving comments. This is star fruit, which we probably ate 100 fruit off of this year, and probably another 100 fruit fell on the ground. These things are so prolific for how big they are. Pretty wild. And Suriname cherry here, which is flowers. It's made a couple fruit here and there, but nothing crazy yet. And a big lychee there that we just need to take better care of. Actually in the process of keep getting the vines off of it. The koa tree, another native tree there, fast growing. And the lilikoi vine, or passion fruit, on the fence there. You have a couple flowers that are open right now. So cool. And there's even some fruit hanging on here and there, I saw. But anyways, we're in the process of cleaning this up. And this is tarped because right on the other side of the fence is perennial peanut, ground cover. We want that to basically come through the fence and start working its way down here. And so we're kind of coming at the food forest from all angles with the perennial peanut, trying to get that full coverage, get rid of as much of this grass as possible so we just don't have to maintain it all the time. Anyways, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Happy holidays to everybody out there, and I hope you have a wonderful start to the new year, and just come back and see us again soon here at Ina Bear Farm. Aloha, everybody.